Hi everyone, it's Rosie here with the Zombie Eaters podcast. I just wanted to update everyone as to what's going on. And before we get started, I just want to, pay tribute to Norm McDonald, who unfortunately passed away, I believe the day before yesterday. And I found out about that as Bill and I were recording an episode on Thursday. That was the first I'd heard of it, and it's a bummer to lose someone to cancer. I lost my father to cancer, so I know the struggles that come with that. The pain and the pain of loss and the pain of the actual cancer of the inflicted. So my prayers go out to his family. And Norm McDonald, he was one of the comedians I grew up watching, and he was just fucking hilarious. His delivery of his jokes and his sense of humor and the way that he the way that he delivered his comedy was he was one of a kind. And a lot of people tend to say a lot of things about somebody when they pass away that they didn't say while they were alive. Well, for the people that know me and that are my friends, I was a big fan of Norm McDonald, and he's going to be missed. His comedy's going to be missed. And, the shock of it, too. I actually think that that he was able to, keep this private with his family and loved ones and people close to him. And that's his prerogative. He has no obligation to the public to disclose anything that he's uncomfortable with. So he's definitely he's going to be missed, and he I don't think there'll ever be anybody else quite like him. If anybody's ever the first movie I saw him in was Billy Madison. And then that movie he did with Artie Lang called Dirty Work, where he started the Revenge for Hire business, and just some of the shit that he came up with, what was this absolute, it was comic gold. And he definitely was a guy in this industry that had an impact on me. And I'm glad that he never got embroiled in any of that Me Too shit or any kind of this bullshit scandal. He seemed to me, from what I understand and from what I've seen, he was a good man. He's a good family man, and he was definitely an outstanding comedian. And I hope that he's resting peacefully, and I hope that his comedy leaves the everlasting mark on this industry that it should. So yeah, I'm gonna miss Norm McDonald. That was a big one. So, also, I want to formally thank Zack for his contribution to our podcast, and the level of I won't quite say professionalism. He is a professional, but the level of quality that he brought to the podcast. I think that again, I think that him and I were a great combination. I think that his personality played off of mine extremely well, and he was just unbelievable to work with. And he's a great guy, and he's also a great friend, and a friend that I'm definitely gonna miss. He made it safely back home the other day. He's staying in Arkansas right now, and he's just a great guy. And he definitely by being a part of the show, being a part of the podcast, he helped me learn a lot about this medium. And I think we kind of learned from each other, and I can honestly say that from working with him for those 5 months, I've improved as a podcast host, just from working with him. Because when we started this podcast, I started it and then he joined me like a month later, but neither one of us really knew what we were doing. And, it took us a little while to find, where we were comfortable. And I'd say probably the last 4 or 5 episodes we did were just outstanding. Just from my perspective, and I owe a lot of where I've come with this podcast and how I've improved to him and his his business acumen. He always showed up. He he was a big fan of the content that I would propose to him and how I wanted to do the show, and he was always supportive, and I am also 110% supportive of him taking the next path in his life back home in the Midwest, and I wish him nothing but the best. He's definitely one of the most genuine friends I've ever had, and they always I hate these cliches and these stupid sayings, but I with the news I'm about to present to you, they're pretty much only thing I can say. So yes, good things always come to an end, and the Zombie Eaters podcast is coming to an end, and they also say that when one door closes, another one opens. That is also fucking true. So the Zombie Eaters podcast is going to be retired, but my friend BJ and I, Bill, who was my guest on the last episode of the Zombie Eaters podcast, we are going to be starting our own podcast under a different brand. So that's going to start Thursday. I'm going to basically keep everything for the Zombie Eaters the same. I'm not going to, take down any of that content. It's always going to live there. And if Zack and I, if we get together and decide to do an episode, like if he's visiting me or I'm visiting him, we'll do it under the Zombie Eaters brand. But the new podcast with Bill and I will also be filmed in the studio and recorded in the studio. And the name, we're not quite sure yet, but I got a couple of ideas that I think are funny, and yeah, and I thought that I thought the episode that we did on Thursday was it's just too good to ignore, and so I asked him the other night, or last night actually, he had texted me to thank me again for having him on the show, and I was like, well, I'm like, how about we do it every week? And he was like, I'm fucking so happy you asked. So I'm excited about this. He's excited. And there's going to be a new website. There's going to be a new YouTube channel. There's going to be a new social media. So, yeah, I'm hoping to have most of that up and running by Thursday. But either way, and I'm going with a different host site. I'm not using Anchor anymore. I'm going to go with Captivate and pay the money. So, yeah, so look out for that. Just to give you an idea of what the podcast may be called, I'm thinking for the title, it's going to be called Lunch with the Lambruscos, featuring Billy Longloins. That's what I call BJ, and my name's going to be Polly Firm. So it's going to be more of the podcast is gonna follow it's gonna have a different appeal. It's gonna have a different format. It's gonna be like the content's gonna be different, and yeah, we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna see what happens. So yeah, I will be updating everything from the other social media and the website and YouTube channel, and to let everybody know, I'll include links. And if you weren't a fan of the Zombie Eaters podcast and you're not looking forward to this one, that's fine. Go fuck yourself. I don't need your support. I am gonna have BJ contact Liquid IV though, and ask him if they'll sponsor us. I want to see what they say. I'm not gonna let them know that I'm involved. So it depends. Maybe the Lambruscos will be in the land of the anti-sponsor. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from our loyal listeners, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback, especially from the last episode. So yeah, without you, it's not possible. So without you, I don't have a podcast. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Have a great weekend, boys and girls.